Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Snooker 19 career, the other O'Sullivan with me, Daniel. It's episode 14 and today we start on the world ranking screen. I've got to remind you that there was a doubleheader last weekend due to our 10th semi-final with Mark Selby. So if you haven't seen those two episodes yet, please do make sure you go back and check them out before carrying on with this one. So episode 12 came out last Friday at 4:30 as normal, and then we had the bonus 13th episode on Sunday at midday. And those of you that are up to date with the series will know what that means. Today we're continuing our run against Mark Williams in the final of the Scottish Open, as we made it to our first ranking final with an unbelievable comeback and some dramatic moments as well. If we win this event we get 70,000 in prize money, which will shoot us way up the rankings. As it stands we're going to get 30,000 and move up about 10 places, and we'd imagine that's probably the most likely scenario, as after beating the world number 1 and 2 in the last two rounds, it's very unlikely we'll be able to do 3 in a row. So we've started off the final. We said we'd come back when one player was a frame away from winning, so let's go and have a look at who it is. Unfortunately we trail 3-1 to Mark Williams, and he has got 3 chances to win this final now, so it's going to be very difficult and require another epic comeback if we are to make it and win our first ranking title. But either way it's been a brilliant run, and for the first season of our career a fantastic achievement to get this far, and to be competing against the world's top players really does bode well for the future. It's Mark Williams to break in frame 5, so let's just see what he can do, and fingers crossed he'll leave us a half chance to try and get back into this match. He's been in epic form in this final so far, so I think just like this one here, we're going to have to play a safety shot, and unfortunately this event probably won't go our way. So let's just try and play a good safety shot. We want to make sure we get the cue ball safe. We don't want to leave a red on and an easy opportunity. If we're going to lose it, we want it to be because Mark Williams has done something special, rather than us doing something stupid. But we may have overhit that slightly. We're going to need a bit of help from the green, and we haven't really got it, to be honest, as it slowed the cue ball down a bit too much, and now Mark Williams has got a good red to the left hand bottom pocket. It's pretty much straight. For a left hander it's perfect, and he's managed to run through for the black, so it looks like this is going to be the start of a big break. We'll just make sure that he pots the black and manages to get onto another red, and if he does we'll leave him to his break and come back if we get another chance at the table. It looks like he's on the red pretty well, so we'll come back when we get another opportunity. Fingers crossed we'll get at least one more as Mark Williams continues his break. Okay, we're back at the table. We have got another opportunity. 24 added by Mark Williams, and again he's played a pretty superb safety shot, so we've just got to try and get back up the table to make sure we don't leave that red onto the middle. Unfortunately it wasn't a good angle for us, but it looks like we played a pretty good safety shot here, and the yellows come to our rescue for both loose reds, and the rest of the pack is going to be what Mark Williams has to play off. Hopefully he'll play a loose safety shot and we get an opportunity, and it looks like he may have done so just here. Let's see if we can get on the red. It's almost straight, but the black's been taken up the table, so it does mean it's going to be difficult to get a colour. So we might have to go for the other red as a result of that. We've got a couple of opportunities here. Let's just see what angle we can get on this one, and if we are able to screw back. But what colour are we going to be able to get on? That's the problem we've got at the moment. If we pop the other red, which is a bit more difficult, we would have to be careful to get that one in, but it should naturally take us through for the pink, and that would be the ideal shot at the moment, so I think that's the one we're going to go for. We're just going to try and roll it in. 17% power. Hopefully the red drops, and it does. We've come too far for the pink though. We're going to need a friendly nudge, and unfortunately we haven't got it, so it doesn't look like we've got on a colour. After all that effort it doesn't look like we're going to get it, and we've wasted our first opportunity to get amongst the reds. Let's play a safety shot off the black and just try to reach the top of the table. We want to make sure we don't leave anything on. That's the most important goal at this stage. So we're just going to try and hit the black as thin as possible and come up the table for the top cushion. And fingers crossed we'll be able to do that well and not come back down the table too far. We've come past the baulk line and we're almost with the blue, but I think we may have got away with that. We've protected all of the reds in the pack, and the one loose red isn't at a potable angle, so we should be able to get away with Mark Williams playing a safety again. He's played a deflection off the black, which has taken it back down the table. That's probably a good result for us, as we're not good enough to do that ourselves. I'm not sure if the cue ball passes the yellow to get to this other red. It doesn't look like it does, so again we're playing off the pack to try and get a safety shot and get back up the table without leaving anything on. Mark Williams has really outshone us in this area in this match, and again we're going for our trusty 40% power, and hopefully we'll get back up the table. I've just seen a red drop into the far corner. I have no idea how that's happened. We've got extremely unfortunate with the colours again. We've almost nestled against the yellow. We're not going to be able to get to the blue. I think I'm going to have a stab at the pink and see if we can get a thin cut to the corner. And I've made a crucial mistake there, as we now can't get to the pink whatsoever. I'm not sure if we can re-choose the colour. I wish I knew how to do so. So we're just going to have to play off the cushion for the pink. Why I didn't play a safety off the yellow, I don't know. There's inexperience in a big final, and it's going to cost us on this occasion as we just try and come off the cushion for the pink. If you can reselect the colour, then please do let me know how, as I've made a complete hash of that one, opened up the reds for Mark Williams, and I think unfortunately, as well as giving him 6 points, I've probably just handed him the final frame of the match. It's all he needs to get the victory, a 4th frame on the board, and the other 2 are going to become irrelevant as he's got himself on the pink off that red. So we'll see you in a moment if we get another chance at the table, but I'm guessing it's highly unlikely based on the way the reds lie at the moment. The pink drops in and Williams continues his break. We'll see you in a moment if we get a chance. Okay, a safety shot from Mark Williams leaves us another chance at the table, but it's becoming an ever decreasing chance at winning this frame. 51 points on the board for Mark Williams, 49 ahead now. We've got a chance on the red to get back up the table. He's left nothing on. It's another brilliant safety shot, and that's been the biggest difference in this final to the previous rounds. The opponent's played brilliant safety all the way through, and he's not left us an opportunity or a half chance even at a red. We've managed to get back up to the top cushion. It's a brilliant shot by ourselves. It's not often we've been able to say that in the safety exchanges, but I'm sure Mark Williams will do just as well now and probably leave us a difficult opportunity. He actually looked like he went for the pot there. A bit of a strange decision from Mark Williams, who's been brilliant all day in terms of judgment. Maybe the pressure's getting to him even with his experience, and now we've been left a pretty easy straight red. We've just got to try and get up for the colour, so let's just screw back until we're on the black, and fingers crossed it'll leave us a decent angle to get on the reds and continue a break to get back into this frame. 31% power. We've underhit it slightly, but we've got a good enough angle on the black, and hopefully it should be at a potable angle. We're just going to be able to pass the pink. We may have to screw back though, as we're not going to be able to get on a red unless we go for the one to the middle pocket, which means just coming up below the blue spot here. So we're going to go for that one instead. 46% power and plenty of screw back, and we've overhit it, so I hope I don't get snookered by the blue. I think we've come too far, and again we've made a crucial positional mistake in this break, but it looks like we've got away with it as we can just get to the potting angle of the red. So again we're just going to follow through to the blue. We don't want to hit it with too much power. 18% and it's slightly under hit, but you can see we've got that perfect angle on the blue just to come down the table for the 2 reds. Let's see if we can get on any of them. There's the pack of 2 and then one below as well, so a little bit of screw back should send us down the table, and we'll put it into the near side of the pocket so we create as wide an angle as possible. So let's just try and screw back, see if we can get down for the loose red. That would be easier to pot. 73% power, and fingers crossed we'll be able to nail this. We've not quite got it right again. We've underhit it slightly, but we've managed to get away with it as we're on to another red comfortably. We've got a choice of 2, but I don't want to nudge the second one in the pack of 2. So we're just going to play for the loose red at the bottom of the pack and try and get onto pink or black. So let's just make sure we pot this red. We're going to roll through for the pink again. There's no need for us to put any power on whatsoever. So 15%, and we're just going to nestle around this bottom end of the table and try and prevent getting out of position, which we've done so often in this frame already. We've only had a few chances at the table, but we've wasted every one of those with poor positional shots as I go with the camera angle again. So we're just going to try and screw up slightly to try and get onto these 2 reds, and fingers crossed we'll leave ourselves a decent pot to the corner as we catch the pink with a perfect 33% power. We're on to the red fantastically, so we should just be able to complete a comeback in this frame, though it does rely on us clearing up, something I'm not entirely confident about yet. So we're going for the bottom of the 2 reds. We're just going to try and screw up for the blue if possible, although that doesn't look like a possibility at the moment, so we may have to come through for the black, which means nudging off the second red, which could potentially put it in a poor position. So 39% power, we've managed to catch it pretty perfectly. We've got the black to the middle, and we've left the other red in a decent position. So we're just going to put the black in now. We've got to make sure we get onto a red, and that may mean screwing down for the difficult one below the pink spot, which gets it out of the way and means we're able to continue our break. 50% power is perfect. We've got a decent angle on this red, and we should be able to get onto the pink pretty easily, which will hopefully allow us to clear up nicely. We've just got to worry about that red on the side cushion. That's going to be the difficult one in this break, although saying that, every shot's difficult for us as we run out of position so often. We've overhit overhit this one slightly and we're going to be tight to the cushion, and it doesn't mean too much in terms of the pot. It just prevents us adding a screw back and spin we'd sometimes like to. So we're going to put the pink in again, a relatively easy pot, and if we can screw back above this red that would be fantastic, but I'm not quite sure we're able to do that at the moment, so we may have to change the angle slightly. Let's see if we can get up around the blue spot, just so we've got a red to the corner, and hopefully we can come back round the cushions and leave us a good angle on the black or pink to try and get onto that final red. So a pretty good angle in the end. We should be able to come across the table here, and if we can leave ourselves low on the pink or black, we should be able to get across to that far cushion, but I am pretty aware this is where the break's likely to go wrong, so fingers crossed that won't be the case this time. We're just going to try and screw across for the pink. We want to leave ourselves on it if possible. 41% power, and this may be the trickiest shot, but we've managed to get on the pink pretty well, and I think we can get up for the red with that angle. It's not quite as much as we would have liked in terms of an angle, but it should be just enough. We may have to force it a little, and hopefully if we screw back we can come back up for this red. So let's just try and get up towards that side cushion, and fingers crossed we can leave ourselves a potting angle. Excuse me as that takes absolutely ages, and we just overhit it at 55%. Hopefully it won't leave the angle too poor, and we should be able to get a pot on here, though it is going to be the trickiest one of the break so far to make sure we get onto a colour as well. So we're just going to try and screw off the bottom cushion. A fantastic pot, and now it's probably just a tricky green preventing us from clearing up this break quite nicely. So we're going to try and come off the bottom cushion again. We've just got to make sure we get up for the yellow, or at least give ourselves a potable angle. We're off 2 cushions, and I think I might have snookered myself. I've overhit it slightly and we're behind the blue. What a disastrous moment. Fingers crossed we can just get past. We can, it's not quite as tight as it looked, so now it comes the most crucial shot. We've got to pot the yellow, and we can either try and get either side of the green, or just smash it at full pelt and see if we can get a good kiss on it and bring it back off that top cushion. So 49% power, the yellow should go in easily, and we've managed to get a kiss on the green, but it's not been fortunate at all. It's almost like the perfect safety shot, as we've put distance between the object ball and the cue ball, and we've left it pretty tight to the cushion. So it's going to be a safety shot from here as we take the lead in a frame. The most crucial moment of this frame and this final rests on us playing a good safety. So let's just try and work an angle. The main thing for me is keeping the cue ball near the top of the table, as that's going to be most important in playing a good safety. We are going to make a mess of the rest of it, but hopefully we'll just get a bit of luck. So 55%, we've underhit it hugely. That's the first disaster. Are we going to get lucky with the green? Not at all. The extra 5% would have taken that off the cushion and towards the pink, and taken us up towards the brown spot. And that's the problem if you underhit shots or overhit them entirely. 5% out is an absolute disaster. 1 or 2% you can get away with. Mark Williams pots the green. We've just fast forwarded to see if he got on a bit of an angle on the brown. He seems to have got it pretty perfectly, so I think that's going to be frame and final over. He's back to within 1 point. If this brown goes in and he gets on the blue, the other 3 colours are on their spots, although the black and pink are in reverse, and he should complete this break pretty easily. We'll just stick around to see if he wins the tournament. I'm interested, as it's our first final, to see what the celebrations are like post-match as well. Do they have the presentation, and do they have all the razzmatazz that goes with winning the final? We're interested to see that, and we'll see Mark Williams lift the trophy. The pink drops, does it? Oh, he's missed the pink. What's going on here? Mark Williams misses the pink off the spot, and now we've just got pink or black to stay in this frame for the future. We're 8 points behind, so we need both colours, and we're going to need a good positional shot here, making sure we don't pot the white either. It's 50% power. We've underhit it again, and I've left myself a poor angle on the black. Fingers crossed we don't miss it. It's going to be a difficult one, not quite as easy as we'd hoped for, so fingers crossed we'll be able to sink the black, and we could be in for another bonus Sunday episode. A brilliant opportunity we didn't expect to get. I've probably got a bit louder as we got excited by that. 36% power. Let's make sure we don't pot the cue ball. The black goes in. We're back at 3-2. A lifeline from Mark Williams. We now trail by just 1. Mark Williams is still in pole position, but we're back in with a sniff of winning. So a bit like the Mark Selby semi-final last week, we are going to leave this one here, and we're going to have a bonus episode on Sunday at midday where we play out the rest of this final. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get back into it and win our first ranking event, though Mark Williams is still very much in a better position and is certainly the favourite for it, so we're not expecting miracles, but it's good that we're managing to compete. We're back to within 1, and if you did enjoy that episode, please put a thumbs up on the video. I know we probably weren't at our fluent best, and Mark Williams gave us a lifeline or 2, but a brilliant effort to compete in our first first final after beating the top 2 ranked players in the world in the last 2 rounds of this tournament. Let me know if you think we can complete another miraculous comeback. I think this one might be a bit too far, particularly as we don't look too fluent, but obviously when we got back to 2-1 against Mark Selby last week, it was on a respotted black after a scrappy frame, and then we went on and nearly made a 1-4-7. So join me on Sunday lunchtime to see if we can pull off the great shock, but in the meantime subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from 2 long-term stories, as well as weekly content from this series, including a special bonus episode this Sunday again, and there should be plenty of content around from Cricket 19 as well. The official game of the Ashes has just been out a couple of weeks, so if you are a fan of other sports games, please do check out those videos too, and I hope you enjoy all the content we've got over the summer. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support with the series. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you next time as we continue our first ranking final, hoping to continue a great comeback against the world number 3 Mark Williams.